Hey, welcome back to this Woman Wednesday edition of Liquid Lunch on Newsmax TV. I'm John Tobacco, coming to you today live from the Newsmax headquarters in the Question Tequila studios. Dow holding steady, Bitcoin up 500. I don't want to waste a lot of your time because we have another amazing woman in studio with us today for not the first time this week, but the second time this week. Susan Settembrino joins us again. And Susan, you may know because she was here the other day. She's the author of The Unchecked Power Guide. She's a distinguished attorney, legal analyst, and also a former prosecutor. So her thoughts on many things legal, which we're dealing with every day with the Trump scandals and the Mueller investigations and lawsuits. Susan, thanks for joining us. But it seems there's this slow but sure growing of Democrats joining the impeachment. I want to impeach. It's like 110, I think, now. We know the Senate's never going to pass it. We know that no one's ever been formally impeached and found guilty in an impeachment. So what's the point of all this?
Oh, you're asking me the point?
That's right, yeah. If there is a point in there, give it to us.
I don't think, I just think they drive themselves off the cliff. I mean, after the Mueller fiasco, they can even entertain it. That would be great for Trump, because then we can really dig our heels in and look at who's behind Mueller, what's going on, what was the origin of this entire, I think, targeting witch hunt. And
so as a former prosecutor,
there's absolutely no grounds to impeach Trump.
As a former prosecutor, you believe this is a witch hunt? You don't think this was a well-done investigation?
No, I think that it was completely biased. I had my opinion prior to the Mueller hearing, and it has solidified my opinion in that Mueller was not the driving force. I think he was utilized because of his stature, his reputation, and there were, it was completely biased, the people behind it, and they had unchecked power, unchecked funds, and the whole premise of the investigation is crucial, right? So
we just got word
I do think it was a witch hunt.
We just got word the other day, reporting by SarahCarter.com, that one Patrick Byrne, who is the CEO of Overstock.com, has been a FBI asset, and they asked him to do human intelligence gathering on this Maria Butina, this alleged Russian spy who's in jail, serving 18 months. Right. She pled guilty. And now we find out from her defense attorneys, they're alleging that they requested from the government any Brady material on human intelligence, and the government told them there was none. Right. And now the actual agent who collected the intelligence is saying, hey, I collected it, and I told the government that I didn't think she was a spy. It was exculpatory, and they hid it from her defense. So what say you? If
you read, Sidney Powell's book and you watched her interviews, and she discussed Arthur Anderson and Weissman and how that was exactly what happened in that situation. Lives were ruined. People were put in jail. Careers gone, shareholders' money gone, and they never had the intent. In fact, there was exculpatory evidence that was never presented to show. So this seems to be a pattern of abuse of process, and because there's unchecked power, who's guarding the integrity of our court system? Can you promote
our book one more time?
Well, in all seriousness, I know we put the book on the screen. If you're interested in the legal system, particularly in New York, but not just exclusively in New York, you really do have to check out Susan's book, The Unchecked Power Guide. It's a corrupt lawyer or a corrupt judge's worst nightmare, but especially a corrupt prosecutor's worst nightmare. And I read Sidney Powell's book, and I'm glad she's now part of General Flynn's defense team. And we were eager to have you back, Susan, because you were the one that predicted accurately exactly what would happen with Mueller and with this whole investigation. But the reality of the situation is Roger Stone is still being put on trial by this Mueller-Weissman team. Do you think Mueller's performance, his poor performance by any objective measure in the hearing last week, is a good sign for the Stone defense? Would you feel good if you were the Stone defense team at this point?
I absolutely would. And I think it's, when you're on trial by someone, it's very important to know the integrity of who's pursuing you, and that would definitely go to their defense. What was the motive? You know, why were they behind it? Is this political? What's the agenda here? And I think it's crucial for the defense team, absolutely.
Some other good news for President Trump's legal team is yesterday a Clinton-appointed federal judge here in New York threw out this lawsuit from the DNC, which accused the Trump campaign of racketeering and colluding with Russia. I got to think this is a good sign for the president.
I think it is an absolutely good sign, but it's a very bad sign for what's going on with our nation. We're engaging in my opinion, witch hunts and false investigations, false abusive process in the courts, all to target the president, all to bring him down. So this is a very sad time for the people who voted for Trump, and even for the people who didn't.
Sure, Alan Dershowitz has been very consistent. He didn't vote for Trump, but he's called out a lot of these shenanigans.
He absolutely did.
It'd be interesting to see if the DNC have to pay sanctions for bringing a frivolous lawsuit.
That would be
and
funny.
they absolutely should.
Speaking of sad,
yes,
it's really sad for our audience that you can't see the boots that Susan Settembrino is wearing today. I don't know, Woman Wednesdays.
I'd gladly take a
the shoe game and the fashion game is elevated like huge. Even Frankie steps up his game on Woman Wednesdays. He's got on the triple brown, total throwback, but amazing cigar tie.
Yes. But I do have my liquid lunch is liquid eyeshadow.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, you always have the different colors. The purple.
Yes.
Last time you had like a silvery, sparkly one.
Right. So.
And I got
so that's your liquid
tie.
lunch, and I'm glad you had that before you brought me on the show.
You wore your eyeshadow to match my tie.
Absolutely.
So we blended well together.
Yes.
Before you go. This whole Jeffrey Epstein thing is going wild. Like now he's in jail. Supposedly he tried to kill himself. He got this sweetheart deal, 2 sets of justice. Tell me what you think can happen here. Jeffrey Epstein.
I think, I think there's a price on his head. I really think he's in danger personally because I think he knows too much and on too many powerful people. I honestly think that it's a dangerous situation for him because he's also being pursued by litigation and being asked to be deposed. And there's a lot on the line for a lot of people. We'll see how this plays out. But I thought right away when this happened, I think it's very political in that I think he deserves, I don't think he deserved that plea deal.
Right.
I don't think his victims deserve that plea deal.
There were a lot of allegations, but he got a sweetheart of a deal.
Oh, come on. That is
we just found out that on December 25th, Christmas, they're going to reinstitute capital punishment for people who harm children. So on top of everything else, Jeffrey Epstein is probably sweating like a terrorist that he may get fried. Susan Settembrino, thank you for lighting up the show today. You stay right there. We'll be